Hi there, blessings. Thank you for being here. Whew. So today is July 21st. I believe we are now officially wrapped up with Cancer season. Is it just me, or was that like a freaking intense Cancer season? But wait, the intensity is not over, because guess what? On July 23rd, both Venus and Chiron go retrograde. Venus in Leo retrograde and Chiron in Aries retrograde. Hooray! Buckle up. We're about to dive deep into some shadow work over the next few months. And the big question that's coming up, I just recorded some videos about this earlier today. They're going to come out on my TikTok over the next few days. But basically with Chiron, that's the energy, Chiron in retrograde and Venus in retrograde, the energy that's coming up. Hi, Natalia. Hi, Gregory. Thanks for coming in, joining live. Drop an emoji. Say where you're coming in from. Would love to hear from you. Whoa. Okay. So, hi Oz, thanks for joining in. So I was just talking about, the energies that are coming up. We have Chiron in retrograde, we have Venus in retrograde. Venus in retrograde is all about the shadow work around self-love. Where are we allowing pleasure in our lives? Where are we not allowing pleasure in our lives? Why not? Hi, extra special, thanks for joining in. Hi, Robin. And then the Chiron in Aries retrograde energy is going to be highlighting, where are we not standing in our truth and our authority? And this Chiron in Aries retrograde is actually really super important, because we just had this week on the 17th, the nodal shift. Aries just shifted into the North Node. Hi, Shikyo. Welcome. And Aries in the North Node is all about how do we stand in our sovereignty and in our truth. And with Chiron, the wounded healer, going into Aries, that's going to be prime time to really work through those deep core wounds. So I just finished my evening practice. My plans for the evening got canceled, and dinner's making, and I have this energy, and I was guided to come do a collective reading. This is not the deck I'm using. So I figured, you know what? I'll just come on live. Hi, Maybird. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Steph. I'm going to come and do an energy reading for the collective and just see what messages come through, all right? So we're going to start with a breath. Inhale and exhale. Another inhale and exhale. Hi, C Money. Thanks for joining in. All right, one more inhale and exhale. Gonna clear the space with a little Palo Santo. Clear the energy field. I open now a circle into which I step into, free of ego, thought, and emotion, to be a clear channel for the messages that come through, in accordance with the highest will of the divine, for the highest good of all who choose to tune in. May the messages that they need come through, and may only that which is in alignment and in balance of the light and night show up here today, and may all the messages integrate with ease, grace, love, light, confidence, purity, harmony, unity, peace, love, 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 and joy. And so it is. Freaking hot. It's freaking warm. I don't have a fan in my home. I don't have AC. Hi, Photografia. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. And I don't have AC either. It's freaking hot. Hi, Chrissy K. Hi, Jesse. I'm sorry. Jose Arenas Montoya. Thanks for joining in live. So let's see. What is the overall energy for the collective in this here now? What is the core, prime, big message that wants to come through? Okay, the Magician. Okay, so the Magician is saying that there is new beginnings happening for a lot of us. There is a new beginning in terms. I'd be happy to turn that live on and get you on here. So thanks so much for respecting the energy flow here. So, okay. So here we are. we pulled the number 1. So this is a new energy, and this makes sense, you know, with the nodal shift that just happened on the 17th of this month. We are literally starting a new 18-month cycle with Aries in the North Node and Libra in the South Node. Libra in the South Node is all about balance. We're going to be it's going to be really shown clearly, both on a personal level and on a global scale, where there is imbalance, okay? Where there's it's also going to show up as karmic justice, okay? So if you've been wronged in the past, karma is now here to do and to take care of things, basically. You know, karma will always take care of it. And karma is not bad or good, it's neutral, right? So if you've done good in the past, expect to start receiving your blessings here over the next few months, next few days, weeks, months, okay? All of it. All the blessings are coming in. If you haven't been the nicest person, well, you know what? This is time to face your shadow. The next few months through the end of the year is all about deep diving shadow work. You know, Chiron, the wounded healer, is about recognizing that there are some wounds that even after we heal them, hello, Father Suzu, welcome, thanks for being here. Even after we heal those deep wounds, the wound remains open. Okay, but the magician is saying that the overall energy for the collective is a brand new beginning, a start, a fresh start. You know, this could be a thought pattern, a belief system, a relationship, a job, a move, you know, rearranging your home, a wardrobe upgrade, you know, whatever, everything. One is a brand new beginning. It's a total shift, okay? So that's the overall energy that I'm getting for the collective right now. Okay, so let's see what else wants to come through. Give me some more clarities for this magician card, please. Okay, Six of Swords. Yeah, Six of Swords. Leaving behind the debilitating thoughts, leaving behind the voices in your head, or even the people, right? Swords is about words, okay? So really leaving behind those words that are either coming from your internal space or from the external space, leaving all of that shit behind and saying, you know what? I deserve my peace. I deserve happiness. I deserve love. I deserve all the things that my heart wants and then some. And the only thing that's blocking me from getting what I want is literally the mind, right? The mind, the law of mind is the first law in the laws of creation, okay? Because the moment we give voice to our desire, right? We put words to what we want. We have created that reality. Whether it's a reality we want or don't want, that doesn't really matter, right? The universe doesn't respond to the nuances up until a point. It responds to our vibrational frequency, right? So, but the frequency is about leaving behind. Hi, Guanchis, welcome. Thanks for being here. Leaving behind all of the mental thoughts, all of those words, all of those ideologies, all of those belief systems that do not allow you to really tap into the peace that is your innate state of being, okay? So let's see what other, there it is. Okay, Three of Pentacles. Yeah, Three of Pentacles is about really starting to do that work to harmonize mind, heart, and body in the human being experience, in the being human experience, okay? Three, mind, heart, body. Pentacles, in the physical body. It's about work. It's about effort. It's about consistency. It's about outreaching, right? This could also be potentially collaborating with others and getting the help of others to grow your life, to grow your mind, to grow your heart, to grow your home, to grow your business, to grow whatever it is that you want to grow, you know, whether it's like in partnership or a counselor or a mentor or a friend or some kind of ally. You know, this is about really starting to hone in on the reality that, yes, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are God, goddess in flesh form. Yet ultimately, at the end of the day, we are still in this human experience and truly tapped into our divine purpose for being in this timeline. Okay, let's see what else comes through. Okay, Nine of, you know, I talked at the beginning of this how Libra is in the South Node, and Libra is about karma. Karma is about balance. Karma is about reaping what you sow, right? So the Nine of Wands showing up is here to say, you know, you're almost at that 10. You're almost at that 10. So keep going. The other message that I'm getting with the Nine of Wands is that some of you are just feeling a little like defensive. and overprotective about your position and how hard you've worked, that it's actually blocking that completion from coming in. It's like you've worked so hard, but now instead of, just trusting that it's strong enough and mature enough to hold itself, right? Whatever it is that you've been working on personally, professionally, with the family, with your community, all of have that attitude, right? That's what that Six of Swords is about. That's what that Six of Swords energy is here to say. You have to leave those thoughts behind. The past is the past, okay? The past only repeats when you haven't integrated the lesson, okay? And integrating the lesson means accepting that your mind, your thoughts have also contributed to those past experiences, right? Cycles repeat until we learn the power that we hold to not experience that again, right? So Nine of Wands, strength. You're so close. Let the defensiveness go. Let the defensiveness drop. Honor and recognize that you've put in a lot of work and you've done good. And now it's time to just, hold the light and, really start. Three of Pentacles here. Really start opening communication, start opening connection, and start allowing more of life to nourish you, right? It's not just about you. We're not in this human experience to do the human experience alone. And we're not in the human experience to do either. We're human beings. We're here to be in the human experience. We're not human doings. Okay, let's get one more. The Priestess, okay? Heightened intuition. I've been feeling this vibe really, really strongly, okay? With all the energies that have been coming up right now this past week. This new moon on the 17th, it felt like a full moon, okay? And I love that this card came out. I think, is today Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. So I have a Facebook group, the Thriving HSP Portal, and I do weekly lives on Monday where I pull cards for the week ahead. And the High Priestess came out for Friday, and the High Priestess came out again. So some of you are receiving activations or upgrades of your intuitive gifts, of your inner knowing, okay? Your inner knowing is super heightened right now. If you have one or some or all of the clairs, I have most of the clairs myself. It's really intense. I'm still integrating all of that. It's just a lot of energy, y'all. But the point is, like, your gifts, your spiritual gifts, all of that, your intuition, your connection to the feminine energy, okay? If you're like, I don't know if I believe all that, higher source, supernatural, then I don't know what you're doing here. But anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for leaning into curiosity. But your intuition, your connection to your feminine knowledge, right? We all have feminine energy within us, okay? And with Venus going into retrograde right now, that feminine energy is really heightened, really activated, okay? Because the Venusian energy is a strong, powerful, sacred feminine energy. In retrograde, it is the dark feminine energy. How do you connect with the dark feminine energy? That is through doing shadow work. That is by listening to that feminine intuition, feminine wisdom, okay? The feminine wisdom tells you, okay, here's the last card that came out. I just flipped over while I was shuffling. Page of Cups, okay? That ties into what I was just about to say, actually. The feminine energy is all about how do we nurture ourselves. Hi, Megan. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining in. The feminine energy is all about how do we nurture ourselves? How do we take care of ourselves? How do we take care of our minds? How do we take care of our bodies? How do we take care of our souls? How do we take care of our spirits? Do we have good friend groups around us? And are we nurturing those friendships, right? It's like any person in your life, it's like you have to consistently show up in that connection, right? Especially if it's a young relationship. If you're dating someone, you're going to show up consistently because you're interested. You want to get to know them. You want them to stick around. If you don't show up, they're going to be like, well, what the fuck? This person's not interested, so I'm just going to move on, or vice versa, right? So the Page of Cups is here to say, like, this is a time for you to really step into how you choose to love yourself, because how you choose to love yourself is how you're going to love other people and how you're going to let other people love you, right? If you're in resistance to who you are and the different aspects of you, including the challenging ones, especially the challenging ones, then you're not going to want to, really get close to somebody, whether it's a friendship or a romance or, a family or whatever. You're just going to be very superficial, but then that's going to leave you feeling very empty, very dry, very unsatisfied with life. And so Page of Cups is here to say, do you really let yourself tap into your heart space, right? There's a big, deep wound of the feminine energy that, has been going on for centuries that we as a collective are healing. The more we show up in authenticity for ourselves, with our friends, with our jobs, with our lives, with our home, with anything and everything, the more authentic and truthful, heart-centered, right? Heart-centered. The more I'm really working on my language, because I realized recently that when I was talking about authentic recently, I had this epiphany, like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago or something. I was talking to somebody, and then it came up today again in an event that I was attending, and this woman's like, oh, I'm being authentic, so I can say whatever I want. And I was like, well, what you're saying is actually very disrespectful to the native and indigenous people. She's like, well, I'm being authentic. So I realized in that moment, and this has been coming up for the last few weeks, that authentic doesn't mean heart-centered. Because when we operate from the heart, okay, when we operate from the heart, we are going to be naturally sensitive and mindful of how we use our words and how those words affect and effect the greater whole, because we realize that we are all connected, right? So the Page of Cups is this energy of wanting to share, wanting to grow in love, in heart-centeredness. And that's really what the Venus retrograde energy and, the Chiron retrograde energy is really here to say. Like, are you really heart-centered, or are you just, doing the sheeple thing? That's the big question that's coming up. So I have this other deck that wants to come out and pull some cards. Thanks for the follow, CS. I appreciate you. Okay, so I'm pulling the In-Between Tarot. I haven't actually used this deck in like several months, but I love this amazing deck. It's just awesome. But I only pull this card when I'm doing deep shadow work or there's like big heavy retrograde energy, so I'm not surprised this deck came out. So let's see. Okay, here's one card that flew out. Okay, so we get the Four of Swords in between the Four of Swords and the Five of Swords. Okay, what is this saying? This is saying that no more really, that's what's coming through. What I'm hearing is no more cattiness. Okay, that's the really, no more cattiness, no more he said, she said, gossiping, drama, backstabbing, jealousy, envy. There's a shift away. Hi, Iman. Thanks for joining. Hi, Ree. There's a shift away from this Four of Swords energy where we are perpetuating the suffering of our own souls by talking shit about ourselves and talking shit about other people, okay? We're not going and shifting into the Five of Swords energy where we're like, okay, I need to really sit my ass down and take a look at, how I am contributing to my own suffering. Because the suffering that we view in the world, okay, it is a reflection of the suffering of the soul. Okay, but on a much grander level, okay? The earth is hurting because the majority of the humans are hurting. But the more humans step into heart-centeredness, which will then bring authenticity out. Hi, Joshua16. Thanks for being here. The more we sit down and evaluate, then that's Six of Swords energy, right? What comes after the Five? The Six, okay? Four of Swords. It's like, okay, I'm putting the swords down. I'm putting the conflict down. I'm putting the cattiness down. Hi, Libre como el viento. Thanks for being here. I'm putting all of that shit down because it's actually not getting me anywhere. It's keeping me depressed. It's keeping me unhappy. It's keeping me in jobs, relationships, situationships. It's keeping me a slave to the system. Hi, Krishna. Thanks for being here. So this energy, the Four of Swords in between the Four and the Five, is fantastic because it's like finally giving your heart a rest. Okay? And the retrograde energy is always a time for inner. whatever, reflection, retrospection, reevaluation, you know, so on and so forth. So that's a great affirmation. It's like finally, you know, you get to take a break from just being a human doing. Hi Noah Becker, thanks for being here. Oh, look at this. This card just came out. The moon in between the moon and the sun, okay? The moon in between the moon and the sun, again, is that Nine of Wands energy that I was picking up earlier, okay? It's like you're almost there. The sun is right around the corner, right? The night is not eternal. It might be for, you know, a few extended hours, or if you're in the poles, you know, for a few months, right? But eventually the sun always rises. And so this is a reminder that, yes, while you're going through the feelings, hi Ashley, thanks for being here. While you're going through the feelings, while you're, you know, processing, hi MZ Lass, hi Melanie, while you're processing, hi Mark Anthony, while you're processing, you know, these deep feelings, be gentle with yourself, right? That Page of Cups energy right here. Hi Ifa Funke, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with, you know, all those, that realization of, holy shit, I'm the one who's created my own suffering. The greatest awakening, the awakening, the key awakening that we all have, the core awakening, like we have a lot of different awakening experiences, right? But the core awakening that we all have, the big one, hi Sofia Suarez, the big awakening that we all have is the realization that all that we seek is within us, and it is the continual outreaching. Hi Inoki Yahweh. It's the constant searching for outside of self, right? Searching for validation, searching for love, searching for comfort. It's that constant searching outside that creates suffering. And I'm going to stop myself here and say that it is perfectly normal, okay? It is a perfectly human thing to want validation. Okay? But I'm talking about the validation that comes from a place of unresolved trauma, that comes from that place of, I need something outside of me to make me feel better. Okay? That's not heart-centered. That's not empowered. And we are shifting away from that mindset, because then when we are just accepting of the cycles and rhythms, hi Pika Boy, hi everyone who just joined in, you know, when we're accepting of ourselves, then it's okay if people go in and out of our lives. We are not attached to situations, relationships, experiences to validate us, but we accept that we need validation, right? We need that reassurance from our loved ones, from our friends, that we're loved, that we're important, that we matter, right? All of those are healthy needs. But the way those needs are expressed in a majority of today's world is very toxic, very unhealthy. With yourself, because okay, a lot of you have been doing the work, and this is actually triggering something that came up. I have a sister is doing my shadow integration course. Hi Lauren, she's been doing my shadow integration course. It's a 22-day self-paced course, but she's taking her time with it. She's like on her second month with it. And she sent me a message the other day, and she's like, hey, Aleph, hey, Drazmin, I have a question. You know, I'm at the end of this journey, and I'm realizing, like, what came up, I kind of already knew, and is quite simple, and I feel like I need to dig. Like, do I dig? Hi, Bonnie Ward. Like, should I dig into it? Like, I feel like there needs to be more. Like, it was just so easy and light. And I said to her, you know, sometimes when we're doing the healing work for a while, we can become addicted to that journey, because we create a story around I am healing. Hi, Chi-Chi girl. We create this story, right? The ego loves to create stories. Okay, I'm healing. Okay, I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm healing, growing. But you can't always be healing and growing. At one point, you're done. You're done with that certain level. It's time to level up, okay? And so I never recommend picking, because you might be picking at a scab that's healing. Hi, Morinita. Thanks for being here. And you don't want to pick at a scab, because it's going to make the wound worse. You want to leave the scab alone so that it heals. Sometimes you just need to be patient, right? And that's what this card is here, okay? The moon in between the moon and the sun is saying, be patient with yourself, with the journey, okay? Give yourself time to integrate the different modalities and the different things that you've been doing. Give yourself time to integrate a new experience. Give yourself time to move and settle into a home. Give yourself time to Hi Val, thanks for being here. Give yourself time to, start a new habit and give it time. Okay, if you're starting a new friendship, a new relationship, a new habit, whatever it is, give yourself time to transition into a new normal. Okay, all right, and notice when those triggers come up of wanting to revert back to that old way because it's comfortable and familiar, and I get it. Okay, so anyway, I let the sister know, give it a few days, and if you want to dig, then go ahead and be gentle with yourself. But I recommend, you're at the end of the journey. You've been on this for 2 months. Give yourself time to rest and come back to it in a few months and do the shadow integration journey again, because there's always deeper layers. Hi, Rogelio. Thanks for being here. Let's get another message. Okay, there it is. Okay, the Emperor, in between the Emperor and the Hierophant. Okay, what is this saying? This is saying that we are creating new structures for ourselves. Okay, we are really listening. Taurus is here. Taurus is all about the earth, stability, okay, the foundation. We have Aries here. Aries is about new beginnings. I've talked about how we are about to have Chiron go into retrograde in Aries. Aries just went into the North Node on the 17th. A very powerful energy. A new cycle has just started. So the decisions you make this week and next week are going to be pivotal. They're going to be the foundation blocks, shall we say, of what carries you through the next 18 months. Hi, Confident Beauty. Thanks for being here. Okay, so this Emperor showing up in between the Emperor and the Hierophant is saying, you're developing new rhythms for yourself. Okay, and that's awesome. That is awesome, right? Life is a constant process of change and refinement, okay? Stagnation is death, all right? Let's get one more card. Okay, here we are. Look, the Chariot, in between the Chariot and Strength, okay? Which is saying slow and steady movement, okay? Leo energy coming in hot here, okay? We're about to shift into Leo season. Hi, Sydney. Thanks for being here. Okay, so slow and steady, okay? Retrogrades are a time where we just take things slow and steady, okay? Slow and steady. It's like we're driving a buggy, not a motor engine car, okay? So we're still making movement, but we're moving slow and steady. Hi, your Moody Chills. Thanks for being here. Let's get 2 more cards from this deck for this energy, please. Here is one. Okay, 9 of Coins. Yes, Sydney, go ahead and ask your question, and I'll get to you once I'm done with this reading, unless it's a part of this reading. So 9 of Pentacles in between 9 and 10, okay? Again, this brings this energy here that I was feeling earlier. It's like you're so close to the finish line, love. You're so close. I know you're tired. I know I'm fucking tired. I've been doing the soul work for almost 10 years. I'm ready for my rewards. I've been in the dark night of the soul for over 8 years, okay? And I just finally wrapped up a 7-year mission in the Pacific Northwest, a big quantum healing mission for the grid lines of the earth, okay? So a lot of us are tired, okay? But it's that final push, okay? We're in between 9 and 10. It's time to open up our hearts, not be defensive, not let the past experiences jade us, but recognize that we need to just step back into I thank you, Camille. I see your message. I'll come back to you in just a moment, love. This is the time to really just let the past be in the past. That is a huge message that's been coming in. Hi, Deputy Abernathy. Thanks for being here. Okay, so it's time to open up, okay? If those now I'm gonna say, like, Venus retrograde could potentially, like, retrogrades, all fucking retrogrades love to bring the past back to us because they are there to quote unquote test us. Okay, and when I say test, I don't mean in that malicious, spank you because you're going to Catholic school kind of way. I'm talking test in the sense of the universe will sometimes send people and certain experiences back to our life to just check and say, hey, Have you learned this lesson? Because you have bigger blessings coming in, but certain situations, experiences, people don't deserve to be a part of your success story. And if you decide to include those people back into your life again, if you decide to regress, then that's going to delay your blessings, because certain people, certain experiences, certain situationships have no fucking place in your success story, okay? If they weren't there for you, for your darkness, for your pain, for your healing, for your rise, then they don't deserve to be a part of your success story most of the time. Now, that's not to say that people don't change. That's not to say that a new beginning can start with someone from the past. It simply means that you need to use real discernment, okay? Take your time, slow and steady. That's why this is the 9 of Pentacles in between the 9 and the 10, you know? Listen to what people have to say when they show up in your life. Actions always speak louder than words, okay? Learn from your past wounds, but don't let them jade you, okay? Because you're so close. You're so close to that 10, okay? Thanks for being patient, Camille. I appreciate you. Okay, let's get one final. There it is. Look at that. Fucking wraps this up. I swear, I love this. You know, yes, we don't look for validation outside of it, but sometimes tarot and other divination tools just help bring voice and clarity and confirmation to what we already know and what we're picking up, right? And this basically wraps up this reading. Okay, look at this. The Justice card between the 11 and the 12. Justice. What did I say? Okay, the nodal shift just happened. Aries in the North Node, Libra in the South Node. Libra in the South Node is about freaking justice, okay? Justice is coming. You see that? Riding in to the 12. 12 is the higher picture. You're going to really see the higher picture. You're going to start to really see why you went through all that fuckery that you went through, why you did all that soul work. You know, you're really going to come into greater understanding of your power, of your strength, of your gifts, of your purpose, right? Because Mama Lady Justice over here is riding in and saying, all right, sweetheart, you stuck with it. You did the work. You know, you're not letting your past experiences jade you. You're really shining. You're really choosing to live a heart-centered life, okay? Really choosing to, you know, love yourself, to invest in yourself, to invest in, you know, good, healthy friendships. Maybe you have 1 or 2 people from the past, you know, that's okay. You know, sometimes separation happens because maturation needs to happen, okay? The oak and the cypress don't grow together. They grow next to each other, and eventually they grow big enough where their roots start touching, their limbs reach out and hug each other, right? So sometimes we just need to separate from certain relationships, people, etc. in our lives so that we can mature, and then we come together in divine timing, right? So Mama Lady Justice is here saying, like, yeah, okay, you've done the work, keep showing up, keep holding the faith, okay? The hardest part about the journey is not the awakening. It's not the shadow work. It's 6, 7, 8 years later when you're still like showing up in integrity, when you're speaking your truth and everything has fallen away. Your friends, your family, your old jobs, your community, everything has fallen away. There's fucking nobody to call on a Friday night to go just hang out and go dancing and, you know, just have some fun, but you don't backslide, okay? You're like, okay, isolation is elevation. I'm alone right now because I am being elevated. I'm being leveled up. I'm being upgraded. I'm integrating, you know, my divine codes, blueprints. I am befriending my shadow, okay? Until you befriend your shadow, you're always going to be in a triggered state. You're always going to be reactive. The more you're able to integrate your shadow, the more you're able to recognize when that energy comes up and you can dance with it, right? The shadow doesn't go away. The shadow is a part of the being experience. Because we have light, there is shadow. And I got this download last week from Archangel Metatron. Darkness is light, shadow, and sound. And the way to work with the shadow is in that message itself, because when we give sound to the shadow, that is when we bring the light in, and then the darkness reveals itself as light, shadow, and sound. So we need to give sound. We need to give voice to our shadows, to our difficulties, to our challenges, not to, you know, use them as a crutch, but to use them as a way to bridge this gap of separation. I'm like, okay, my shadow is assuming I'd want to do that, right? So working with the shadow is how we really come into this self-love energy. And the more we love ourselves, the more we're able to love the people that show up in our lives, right? We don't have to accept them back into our lives. We can just be like, all right, you do you, boo. We had a good time in the past. Thanks for the experiences. Thanks for the memories, but it's really not in my best interest. Or, hey, I see that you've done the soul work. Let's, open connection again and see where it happens, and, give it time and see what happens, right? Because nothing grows overnight, right? You don't plant a seed and the next day you wake up and there's a fucking forest, right? It takes time. We are in the human experience where time is, in fact, a real aspect of being in this human experience. And the measure of that time varies. Per experience, per seed, right? Some things grow in a couple weeks, some take a few months, some take a few years, right? Freaking bamboo, you water that shit for 3-5 years and you don't see anything in the ground, above ground. And then you wake up one day and it's taken over. It's a freaking weed, okay? So, any final messages for the collective? Okay, one final message. Okay, this part, balance. Balance. Okay, another card. Hi, Sio. Hi, Ezekiel. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Juan. This is the final message for the collective. Balance. Okay? And I talked about that again. Libra in the South Node. Balance. Venus retrograde. Balance. Chiron Aries retrograde. Balance. There's a whole bunch of other things that are retrograde, but I don't have my notes right now, and I'm pretty sure maybe no. I'm not gonna say it and butcher it. Okay? But the point is, balance is the key to life, okay? Balance. How much we give versus how much we receive. We all have 24 hours in a day, okay? So cut those 24 hours. Imagine it's a giant pizza. You get 24 slices and you get to do whatever you want with those 24 slices every single day. And every single day is an opportunity to reset, to refine, to redo, to start something else, to finish something, right? Every breath is an opportunity to begin again. So this is the big energy to work on right now. Where are you cultivating balance? I have a free mini course on my website. It's called Mastering Peace Now, okay? How to cultivate peace in the now, 5 practical steps for peace in the now. And the second key in there is balance, okay? So if that interests you, check out the link in my bio and go to my online market, and you'll see the Peace is in the Now 5 practical steps mini course there, okay? And for those who are just joining now and didn't catch me saying this earlier, if you're wanting to dive deeper into shadow work, okay, there's a course, again, on my online market. That is a self-paced course, okay, with easy practical steps to turn the 7 poisons of the ego into pearls of wisdom, okay? So that is the overall reading that I have for the collective. Yeah, okay. That's all I got for y'all. So, okay, now, Camille, thank you so much for being patient. Are you still here? Camille asked for a general read for next month. Let's see. If they're still here, I'll go ahead and pull a card for you and see what comes through. Anyone else who's here, if you want to ask a general question, then go ahead. Okay, perfect. Camille, you're here. Yay! Thanks for sticking around. I love you guys so much. I just, sometimes I get all in my head, my confidence with y'all, so thanks so much for being here. Okay. Card that came out for you, the first card that flew out, Camille, is Temperance. So this is a big message for you, love. You gotta find more balance in your life, okay? Balance with your work, balance with play, balance with rest, balance with pleasure, okay? In my little mini course, I talk about the 5 P's of peace, okay? P, physical, okay? Physical body needs, nourishment, rest, food, safety, so on and so forth. Then E, emotional, okay? How do you nourish your heart? Okay, gratitude, affirmation, so on and so forth. Then A, awareness, okay, the mind, okay, meditation, connection with nature, Okay, and then you have C, connection, connection with your own intuition, with your own creativity, with your own expression. And then E, expression. How do you connect with others? Your job, your work, your resources. Look at that. Fucking, you already know. You're like, shit, I'm just being called out over here on the TikTok live, mama. All right, so let's see. So, okay, you already know this. So let's get a little deeper, okay? Let's get one more card for you. Let's ask, so what is blocking you? Okay, what's that cork that needs to be pulled? Okay, let's go pull that cork together. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I love doing shadow work. Like, this is my jam. I'm just so excited for Venus retrograde season. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, people. Let's declutter that shit. I do offer trauma decluttering sessions. It's a new thing that I just launched. I haven't even put it on my marketplace yet. I just wrote it down. I'm going to get that done this awakening, but I will be offering trauma decluttering shadow integration sessions. So yeah, let's get it. All right. All right. Okay, they want me to use this deck for what's blocking you. Okay, there it is. Oh shit, 2 cards came out. Okay. So we got between the Temperance and the Devil, and between the King of Coins and the Page of Coins. Okay, so let me intuit into this. I have some beautiful flowers on my desk, so I just needed to smell them and reset my field. Okay, let's see. So the biggest block for you is overworking. Okay? Overworking. You're putting way too much energy and time. About to read me to filth. Oh yeah. What I'm getting with this, it's like you have this, and it may not even be intentional. I'm not getting this sense of you may be a workaholic, but this workaholism, workaholism, is that a word? But this tendency to overwork is rooted in core wounds that go back timelines, generational. So there's poverty and scarcity wounds within your consciousness that you haven't worked with. So it's keeping you stuck in this loop. Okay. Hi, 77 Egan. Thanks for joining in. So that's what's that's what the shadow that is coming out for you. That's what the cork is. The cork is that you have this wound from your ancestors that you have downloaded in your genetic blueprint, that even though you're yes, I need to have more balance in my life, you constantly find yourself oh, just 10 more minutes. Oh, just 10 more minutes. And then it's an hour, and then it's 2 hours, and you're like, fuck, I didn't go to the gym. Yeah, fear of failure, right? Fear of failure is rooted in poverty, okay? You have past lives. Okay, we're getting deep now. I'm tapping into the Akash. Okay, you have a past life where there was famine, okay? Where you died in a famine, okay? So now you're at this point where it's you realize that you can actually be successful and never have to worry about food again. But there's that deep wound in there that if you don't keep showing up, you will starve to death. Okay? And so that starvation, that wound of starvation, of literally starving to death, that's fucking horrible. Okay, I feel it. That is blocking you from really allowing. So instead of saying, what if I fail? Here's an affirmation for you, okay? Write this shit down, repeat it to yourself. What if I succeed? What if I get that promotion? What if I make $10,000 a month? What if I make $10,000 a day? And start really living of that, okay? Attraction, assumption, activation. Attraction, assumption, activation. I can be successful. What if I have $10,000 that shows up in my bank account tomorrow? What would I do with that money? Okay? Yeah, so start really, doing shadow work around scarcity, okay? It's not scarcity, it's scarcity. You literally have all of these scars in your DNA, in your subconscious, that keep you stuck in this devil energy, okay? The devil energy is what? Addictions, patterns, loops, cycles, okay? Going around the fucking hamster wheel, not getting off, okay? Hamsters are great because they're hamsters. You're not a hamster, love. You're freaking human, okay? You're here to shine bright, okay? So instead of like stepping fully into your king of coins, your abundance, your wealth, your power, you go back to being the page, to being the student, to just always having ideas and implementing, but never really seeing them because you're not allowing yourself to get sustainable. You're not trusting that you can be sustainable. You're not giving yourself time to rest and relax, okay? To relax and appreciate, okay? You got to set alarms. 5 o'clock, computer off, okay? I feel this energy deeply. I'm going to say, because I've worked through a lot of this and I'm currently doing a sacred income activation circle, but I had these deep wounds because I do have actual bloodline wounds of poverty. I literally do come from poverty in this timeline, okay? In this incarnation, okay? So I literally have a boundary. You got to place these boundaries with yourself, okay? King of Pentacles is also about boundaries, okay? King Pentacles is all about the physical, right? It's not just about money. It's also about boundaries, routines, structure, and discipline. So you got to create a routine and structure and discipline for yourself. It's like, okay, 5 o'clock, computer off. For me, once it's 9 o'clock or once it's dark out, computer off. Unless I'm, doing playthings on the computer. Yeah, we like to kid ourselves and say, oh yeah, I'm playing around on my computer. And then you're checking your emails and you're checking your Instagram, and you're checking your TikTok, and you're like, holy fuck, now it's 11 o'clock. And then you don't sleep well. And then you're tired and cranky the next day and you're off balance, right? So working with that shadow of scar city, recognize that you have scars in your DNA blueprint, okay? And slowly peeling back those layers. Hi, Wisdom Mom, thanks for being here. Will start helping you shift away from that karmic loop, okay? So let's get one final message for you, one final power boost of love. Look at that, the Hierophant. What the fuck? The Hierophant is the empowered masculine energy, okay? You need to step into your divine masculine energy and literally tell that shit in you to shut the fuck up, okay? The mind is always going to be chatting, okay? And this is why meditation is so helpful. And the way I like to describe meditation is you are sitting on a cliff watching a freeway. One way are thoughts, one way are emotions. Meditation is the practice of becoming the observer. So then you get to go on a ride with either a thought or an emotion when you want to, okay? So set an alarm, set a small goal. 60 seconds is what I recommend. So that way when you go 3 minutes, you're like, whoa, I meditated today. Fuck yeah, I'm awesome, right? Small goals are great. So that is how you learn to control the mind. You cannot stop the mind, okay? If you're brain dead, if your mind stops, you're brain dead. If you're brain dead, the body's not going to function, okay? So learn how to be the observer, okay? Wake up, sit down, and just breathe awareness, okay? Just notice the breath and notice the thoughts that are coming up. Or the thoughts are like, oh, you gotta get up, you gotta hustle, you gotta chug that coffee, you gotta eat that burnt toast, because you gotta get to work, you gotta hustle, you gotta go, you're gonna fucking, like, if you don't show up, things are gonna fall apart. All right, yeah, I gotta go, I gotta do things, but I can take a moment and breathe and think about what I want to wear and what I want to eat and take my time and do some journaling and do some gratitude. The pattern interruption, it's going to be tough, right? But think about your mind like a little child, okay? A little child, when they come into the world, they just want to experience everything. They want to eat everything and touch everything. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right thing to do, right? That's why children have parents, to give them discipline. So you need to be the parent to your mind, okay? Life is about experience. You are a human being. You are here to be human and to experience life, to love and to be loved, to experience pleasure. If you're interested in checking out my free course, that there's a balance tracker